Third question, what were the measures taken by the French revolutionaries to forge a sense of collective identity? This what we are going to explain, that 4 points should be there, and you can explain little more. Thought through the idea of a la patrie and la citoyen, means fatherland and citizen. That 2 point, that is the basic idea they given. New tricolor flag they used. Composition of new system of hymns and commemoration of martyrs. Formulating uniform law for all citizens. These 4 basic points should be there. Then you can explain these points. Next one, explain the consequence of Vienna Congress. The Bourbon dynasty was restored in France. A number of states were set up on the boundaries of France. Prussia was given important new territories. Austria got control of northern Italy, and Russia was given part of Poland. So these 4 points, the Russia was given part of Poland, that should be next point. Like that 4 points should be there in your answer. Why the 1830s were the year of great economic hardship in Europe? Increase in the population, that is the first point. Second point, unemployment and migration and price rise for all the products. That is the second point, that you can split into sub points like unemployment, migration, rise of price in things like that. Then stiff competition in the market. Then bad condition of peasants. Then sixth question, how was the history of nationalism in Britain unlike the rest of the Europe? In Britain, ethnic groups consisting of English, Welsh, Scot and Irish and their own culture and political tradition. The English Parliament had seized power from the monarchy in 1688. The Act of Union made Scotland to come under England. Ireland was forcibly incorporated to United Kingdom in 1701. The symbol of New Britain, the British flag, national anthem and the English language were actively promoted. Then long questions. What was the another name of Napoleon Court? Write any 4 changes brought by this. So total 5 points should be there. First part it is another name of Napoleonic Code. That is what we know. What is the Civil Code of 1804? Then what are the 4 major changes only asked? According to that you can write. Now here only 4 points we are going to discuss, because in the question it is given for did any away privilege based on birth, established equality, secured right to property, then simplified administrative division and abolished feudal system. So those who are feeling it is difficult history, please by heart these points. This basic point should by heart it. What were the idea of liberal nationalism? Freedom of for individual, equality of all before law, concept of government by consent, end of autocracy, freedom of market. Then next question, explain the different stages of unification of Germany. Germany was a group of small states before its unification, and those who can write well, you can write how many states were small groups was there, like that things you can explain. The liberal initiative to nation building failed and was taken by the Prussian Empire. Otto Bismarck was the chief architect of German unification. Then in that point also you can explain like that how the liberals initiative become failure and in which war it become failure, like that. He led 3 wars against Austria, Denmark and France, which ended in Prussia victory. In 1871, Prussian King William I was declared German Emperor. These 3 major steps should be there. Other things you can add, other fightings and other things you can add it. The next one, briefly explain the unification of Italy, highlights the value you learned from this. So it is one area, it is value based, so you want to write values what you learned. Then you want to say about the unification of Italy. During the middle of 18th century, Italy was divided into 7 states, of which Sardinia and Piedmont were under princely states. North and under Austria, center ruled by Pope and south ruled by Spain. The main leaders were Victor Emmanuel II of Sardinia, Chief Minister Count Caraver Mazzini and Garibaldi. With their initiative in 1861, Victor Emmanuel was declared King of United Italy. Value highlighted in this love, unity and nation. Then fifth one, briefly explain the Balkan issue. Briefly explain Balkan issue. Balkan was a region of geographical and ethnic variation comprising of Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece and Macedonia, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Slovenia, Serbia and Montenegro, then who were all together called Slavs. Till the last part of 19th century, this was under Ottoman Empire. The disintegration of Ottoman Empire and the emergence of Romantic nationalism made this region a land of conflict. Balkans nations tried to capture more territories from neighboring places. It also became the scene of big power rivalry like Russia, Germany, England and Austria-Hungary. Ultimately, this led to open wars and finally led it to the First World War. The next question, why was the Frankfurt National Assembly convened? Why did it fail? It was convened in 1848 to vote for all German National Assembly. It drafted a new constitution with a German nation headed by monarchy, and it failed because King of Prussia joined other monarchs who were against parliament. The parliament was dominated by middle classes who resisted the demands of workers and artisans. At the end, troops were called a disband the assembly. Then question bank, can see 3 mark questions as well as 5 mark questions. How did France benefited from the revolution? What is meant by liberalism? What was the sovereign? What factors give rise to the spirit of nationalism? What was the impact of the Act of Union on Scotland? Then 5 mark questions. Explain the role of language in developing nationalist sentiments in Europe. Examine the role of women in the nationalist struggles of Europe. What was Romanticism and how did Romanticism seeks to develop a particular form of the nationalist sentiments during the 19th century? Explain. So by this we are completing the first lesson. The keynotes, we can say the maximum important points only said. So those who are feeling like that history is long, please learn this point, please by heart these points, and I will send some messages to you personally that students want to write it down clearly in your notebook and please send to me in private window. Okay, we'll continue in next video.